Hello and welcome. This will be a computer programming video and that of, for risk reward management, bankroll management. If you're betting things, this is like sports betting and it's designed to really replicate such. How much would or should you be betting of your bankroll per selection? If you really want to take things to extreme levels, you're going to have to bet a decent amount. And you're going to see that it's, what's the best, or optimally might be the best move. But we'll show that when we run the program. I'm going to explain the program first. And this is basic language. And there's not that many lines in it. This is it. This is the entire program. And it does a lot. So we'll get to this one a bit. Game start. This is just this is a level so that I can tell the computer program if I want you to jump there, which at the end of the program, that's what it does. So after I do something, I want to redo it again. That's what that part is for. So this will clear the screen on the output that'll be using the DOS-based black screen. And then text window dot write enter % to bet. So this is where the computer will be asking you how much you want to put in. So you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 15%, whatever the number may be. So then % bet equals to text window read, which will be using the % bet lower on to determine what the amount you're going to be wagering. All right then, so we got this start. It says net total is equal to 0. This is to get a running sum of playing this. So now we got 3 different loops I'm going to work on. Long variance, per long, and per short. Those are names that I just named. I could pick any name I want, but obviously I'm going to use names that make sense to what the loop does. So 4 is the loop. It's going to run the loop 1,000 times. That's why I use the word long variance, just to get a good sample size of what your average results are going to be. So we're going to run this 1,000 times over. And what 1,000 times over is this. It's going to run 250 and 6, which is 1,500 bets is what you're doing. You're running 1,500 bets a million times, so 1.5 million bets. You're not going to make that many, but it's just to get a good running average. If you run this example of doing, okay, let's make a play. We're going to make 1,500 bets, something one could easily do in a case of maybe a few years anyway, even 1 year. And how are your results going to be? Now, hitting 55% is difficult, but can be done, and it's actually a realistically good target number to go for because you can hit the 57, 58 number if you're damn good. And, of course, your results would be better. So for the computer language parts, this one here, it's going to start at balance is equal to 1 because every time I want to restart, I want to reset the balance back to 1. So for per long is 1 to 250. Basically what this is doing is it's going to take bet size equals balance, which is the balance you start with. And that's going to be going up and down as you win bets. Multiply % bet, something you stated before, divided by 100. So if you type in 5, it makes it 0.05 that way. And this way, for per short is equal to 1 to 6. Now the reasoning and the theory upon that, really not the theory, but the practical use upon that, is when you're wagering, you could easily have 2, 3, 4, 5 pending bets, and you could be betting 3, 4, 5 games a day, 6 games a day. So what this does is it looks at your bankroll, and then for 6 consecutive wagers, it's going to bet the exact same amount. And then after this loop is done, it's going to recalculate your balance, and then if you win, your bets go up, and if you lose, your bets go down. Which is, to me, the best way of playing bankroll management. I do it all the time when I'm playing in my games. Increase my bets when I win and decrease when I lose. But with that being said, let's continue on. So this game, this is equal to math.getRandomNumber20. So this game is a variable or label name of creating. And it's just going to get a random number of 1 to 20 every single time. So now we got an if statement. If the number that I just created, this game, is less than or equal to 11. And the reason I'm doing a random number of 20 and 11 is I want to do the 55% number. So 11 out of 20 is 55 and 9 out of 20 is 45. So if it's 11 or less, we'll consume that as a win. So balance is equal to balance plus bet size. And let me explain how like A is equal to A plus 1. How that works if you don't understand. If say A equals 5. Well, now A, which we don't know what it's going to be, we're just clarify it off. Okay, what's it going to be? Well, it's equal to A plus 1. Well, if A was 4, we'll say, well, 4 plus 1 is 5. So in this case, what does balance equal? Let's just say balance equals 1. Okay. Well, what was the bet size? Well, the bet size, we'll say, was 0.05. So 1 plus 0.05, so now balance is equal to 1.05. But if it loses, which is the else statement, if else, which means the number is 12 to 20, balance is equal to balance minus, because we've lost, bet size multiply 1.1. Because you're playing a minus 110 VIG, so you're betting 11 to win 10. So if my wager size is 10, I'm actually betting 11. And then the N4s just end the section. So when it finishes off all of these runs in here, what I want to do is say, okay, how much did we make here? What's the balance? We start with 1. What did we get? And net total is equal to net total plus balance. Of course, net total starts off at 0. So right off the bat, okay, we got 0, but it doesn't matter. We'll change that number. So we equal to 0, whatever the first time that is. And say the balance ends 2.3, whatever. Okay, so what's 0 plus 2.3? Well, 2.3. So we run this all again. Okay, we're back again. So let's just say next time it got to 3. Okay, well, what's 2 plus 3 plus 3? Or 2.3 plus 3? Oh, 5.3. Okay, we run again. Maybe it gets 1.5. And then it adds that, keeps on adding it. And then the very end, what I do is I got text N4. Text window equals right line. So it's going to write on the screen, net total divided by 1,000. Well, that's because I'm running 1,000 variances. So I'll get an average of how each one will perform. And that's that. So I'm going to run the program, and if you want to run it, I'll put the code in here. So let me just publish it. There's the code right there, KSK 572. So what I could do is I just go like this, and then I'll put a shift thing beside the enter, 2 before the left. And then paste. And that's like a rem statement remark, as I used to call it back in the day, which is just for reading purposes only, so I can copy and paste this later on. And there's the program. So let's just see how the results look. I've already seen this, already known. I've already known pretty much for a while these numbers. I'm just going to fit the screen off so that. So let's start off at 1%. It's going to take a few seconds to load. A lot of times I can make this go like 1,000 times, 5,000 times faster, and then or more, rather, so it's slower. And then I can just leave, and maybe I can set up and take an hour or 2 to run because I want to get a large sample size of numbers. But I wrote this to do this many periods because I knew if I'm only doing like 1 million or 2 million hits or so, that the computer can do that relatively fast compared to doing like billions, which I've done before. So 2.3 is the number, which means that's a 130% gain you would get. Betting 1,500 plays, betting only 1% of your bankroll. Numbers are going to be different each time, though. If I do one again, we got 229. I mean, this is why I want to do like millions and millions, because then you'll get a constant number that's going to be relatively accurate. But we can see we're pretty much all in the same number. 2.3, 2.25, there's 2.27 again. And yeah, so let's just increase the number now to 2. And now it's much higher, 4.88. And we'll do it again, 5.28. So it's like closer to 5, 5.29. So twice we've hit that number. 517. So it looks like about 5.2, 5 point, maybe more, is 420% is what you would get if you bet 2% over like this many plays. But can we do better than that? Let's see what 3 does. Oh yeah, much better. So there's problems betting too little, betting too much. And when you go much, when it's safe, then it becomes your choice on how parabolically large you want to play the game and how monstrous you can do it. There's 4 going 22. Because compounded gains can be a very large, powerful thing. There's 29 on it right there. You're getting 29 times gain. Betting 4% of your bankroll. There's 24 times. 22 times. It's just sick. 26 times. We're not even... It can get sicker in that sense. Let's go 5. Ooh, 50. Yeah, okay. Oh, spoiler, do we hit triple figures going higher? We do. I mean, there's 66 right there. Oh, wait, just wait till you get to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's going to get fun. So 64, there's 53, or well, 54 rounded. So we can see the numbers are 60, 70. We're working with that. We should get long term. 6%. That's going to go higher. Oh, well, yeah, there it is already at the 3 figures. 100 times, 111 times, 88 times, 135 times, and then... Oh, wow, that was a good one. 189. 87. So you're looking at like 110, 120 time X game. And then you see, oh, 1 times at 180. Then you get this. When you play this game, okay. When you play this game, you can... The variances can work out. Sometimes you can be very good and get unlucky. And sometimes you can make mistakes, not be that talented, and just get lucky too. But more times than not, especially if you grind it through the large numbers, you can, quote unquote, never win or never lose if you're doing it right. And as you can see, I'm never losing here with extreme amount of play. So if you're out there playing millions and millions and millions and millions all over the time, it's just going to happen. Let's just now go to 7. 171 now. Oh, 562. And then if we were to instead play 1,500 games, what if we were to play, say, 3,000? We'll take this number and put it to the power of 2. That's your answer. Because that's all about compounded gains. I mean, these are just big numbers, like 300, 500. There's 500 there. 225 times gain. I mean, big difference between 2%, 3%, 4%, and all that. But 7% big difference between even 8. 585. Oh, when do the 4 figures come? We'll see. Well, maybe. And when does it? Well, there's 4 figures. When does it start going down? When do it? Obviously, not betting 30%. You can't bet 30% when you're gonna have 6 open bets. Which means if you bet, so we'll say you bet 20% of your bankroll, and you're doing 5 bets, and you lose 5 in a row, you're done. So that's why betting too much can become a problem, because you can just aggressively, stupidly, even though you're smart at picking winners, lose everything. So therefore, I mean, there's 2,200 right there. That means spending 8% of your bankroll, hitting 55% winners long term, should get you several hundred times your return if you keep on. Now, in reality, that's how I manage. I mean, I'm an advanced. I think intermediate, then go to advanced as far as how you do things. And this is basic, an intermediate level basic, or an advanced level basic maybe. But in real life, when you're making money and you're betting on things like this, you would draw from your bankroll. So your bankroll, you're not going to get 500 times. You're going to get like less than that. Because, well, what's 1,000 times 500? Well, that's 5 million. Well, let's assume you have $1,000 bankroll. Oh, you get to 50,000, you would draw some, or whatever. 150,000, you would draw some. It's just something that would be normal life action. And let's go 9% now. 450. So we're still kicking ass in here. 1,100. So this is where I say how aggressive you want to take something, how far you want to be able. There's almost $3,000 times. You can take math to your advantage to get extreme levels where you want, I want a 20,000x gain. Well, go for it. The math is there for you if you want it. But you really got to be damn good at finding ventures that can give you large X returns, and then be very good at spamming those X returns the best possible way. So here we are at 10 now, trying to, there's 2950, 488. We're never losing. We're always kicking out. I mean, what's the average here? 1,200 times? 1,500 times. There's another 2,000. So there's another 1,100. It's just monstrous moves. Let's go to 11. 269 times. Okay. Oh, not as much anymore. Jeez, I wonder why. I do know the math to it because you get to a stage, or once it gets out of hand, now you're at major risk of your bankroll just being destroyed. How about 12? Well, that's not bad. 990. That's actually damn good, but 243. I mean, it's better going 12% than it is 2. Not a not optimal level. Of course, it's better doing 10 than 12 at an optimal level too. Okay, well, let's go 13 now. Ooh, 373. Interesting. Well, that's still winning good though. I mean, 1100. I mean, 141. You can see it's more volatile because there's so many opportunities where a lot of these results are going to be losing when it comes down to it. Because the next one program you can make is when you bet 13% in a situation like this. How many of these results pretty much went to nothing or were not basically less? And how many of these results went like 5,000 and 8,000 because of the variances of it? How about 15%? 303? 9. Haven't seen that one since like the small percent days. But so to me, the answer is if you were to change your bets every so often, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7 bets, and you know you got a match that's got at least a 55% long-term edge, which means you're going to pull the trigger on that bet. And when you do that 100 times, you expect to win 55 of them and lose 45. Then optimally, you want to bet very much near 10% of your bankroll. When you're going to change your bets every 6 times. So then, I'm going to change this a little bit here. So I'm going to change this from 1 to 6 to 1 to 2. And I'm going to change this from 1 to 250 to 1 to 1,000. Now, the reason why I'm going to do this is because, technically speaking, if you're out there and you're supposed to bet, say, 15, 12, whatever percent of your bankroll, and you're doing like 5 or 6, in the case before, bets in a row, that's extremely risky after you lose 3, 4, 5 in a row to keep that bet going. So this is going to stop that from happening. And, okay. So let's put these numbers in again. See, let's just quickly put 1 in. Remember that very low number that comes in? And, well, it's 3. Where 2 comes in, and that's, I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, 200%, 3x gains, that's fantastic. Well, how about 750? And then you go 5, as we've just been doing this, we're going through this again, like 200x, and then 10. We're talking, well, now we're changing our bets every more often. 35,000x. Let's do it again, have some fun. 10,000x. I mean, whatever. This is better than crypto numbers when you think about it that I've been doing. 10,000x. I mean, verify these numbers yourself because I'd be damn well doing mathematical formulas to verify it. Which basically what it is you take your expected return that you should be getting per game, and then you give that to yourself, and then you compound that. That's really the easiest way of doing it. There's 1947 again. So really, if you change it every day, I mean, every day is really the way to change it. Like, what's your new bankroll? Your bankroll, you can almost say, is what you got plus your pending bets, I guess, is one way of looking at it. 10,000 there. And in the real world, you should be having pending bets because 4 days from now, 2 days from now, 3 days from now, 5 days from now, there's a good play, whatever, and you got the good line early because you know it's the best one. Let's now bring this up to 12, see if we can improve this or if it goes down. It's going to go down at some point, 8,000. But 49,000. Now let's go 15,000 with this and see what happens. See, though it's lower, 993. I mean, who wants to win only 1,000 times their currency back? I mean, well, yeah, 1,600, a bit better. I mean, come on, only 1,600? And I sarcastically, wow, holy shit. 152,000. And that's to be expected now and then. I mean, variance. How do you love variance, baby? Wow. That's all part of the compounded gain. How about 20? What happens if you do it on 20? Ooh, shit. That's getting... We only lose 10% if you do it that way. I mean, whatever. You only lose 10%. And you're a winning player. Oh, there you go. 6.84. Betting too much. 20%. Yeah, baby. Ooh, 92% loss. How do you do, baby? Oh, so you get the idea. I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't in the variance sectors. And really, I think what sparks this to go to 97 is that of there's got one, two. You almost need a median score would be like almost nothing when you're doing it that way. Because another calculation you can do is you ask, okay, well, how many times do you win and did you lose in this run? How many winners and losers were there? What's the percentage of that? But when you're betting these numbers here, like 10%, 8%, 5%, you just can't lose. You literally, I mean, the numbers are just gonna. I mean, if you think you're 55%, but you're really 50 or 48 or 52 or something, of course you're gonna lose now. But if you really are a 55, 54, 56, 58 plus % winner, and you literally put in a spot like that, that's going to, like, another example of that is, oh, I'm going to shuffle the deck of cards. I'll let you pick 7 rankings of your choice, like 2, 3, 5, king, ace, whatever. Well, now you know you're going to win 7 of 13 times. But if you get some weird thing, you have fair real shuffles, and you've actually won like 48% of them or 47% of them. You got so unlucky. That can happen, but not really, but it can, I suppose. I've seen it. So that's why I say it can. But and I've done enough variance numbers to know. This will come out 0. Or 1, rather. But as it goes, my belief is that ideally, you want to bet more than 4 or 5% because there's more profit in it. But you have to be smart. You have to understand the risks are a little bit of a higher chance that variance could hurt you. But there's a much bigger chance, fun chance, that the variance is going to really help you at these bigger numbers by doing such. Because if you're betting 7, 8, 9, 10% and you get off to a streak where you have just a bad run over like a 30-game set, where you go 13 and 17, 12 and 18 or whatever, and that's really going to take a big destruction down the bankroll. And you're just going to see, oh my goodness, 20 bets ago, I was betting this much per game, now I'm betting that on a negative level. But when you go 20 straight bets in a row and you go like, say, 15 and 5 or something, and then you do that 2, 3, 4 times over, like, oh my goodness, I started off with the $1,000 bankroll betting like 10%, 8%, whatever, 60, 70, 80 bucks, 90 bucks, 100. And then next thing you know, if you bankroll 1,000, just even going 20, 30, 50 times, next thing, I'm at 100,000, 150,000. Now I'm betting like 10 grand a game. Or no, I'd be like, 10, 12, 15 grand a game. And in real life, what has to happen is you're only going to take so much action. You're going to run into real maximum bet issues. And like I also mentioned too, in the real world, when you kick gas in the game, you're going to be withdrawing and your bankroll goes down that way in itself. That's just part of the nature of playing this game. And then this game, meaning any type of risk-reward game where you risk funds to win more funds and you actually do such. You could do that betting on sports. You could do that playing poker. You could do that playing fantasy. You could do that trading the market. And there's so many other different ways. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Bye-bye.